It is the beginning of the end. A dormant herald of the collapse stirs in its lunar tomb. Where once we banished the nightmares, a new terror rouses them from their slumber. Callus, the Emperor of the Cabal, betrayed by his own daughter and cast into exile. Now obsessed with a voice calling to him from within the darkness. But we will not cower in fear of nightmares. We will do as Guardians have always done. We will rise to meet the enemy and confront our darkest fears with open eyes.
Vanguard Reconnaissance Op Midas is go. Guardian, the exiled Emperor Callus has anchored his ship off the moon. Caitl's fleet is holding a perimeter. Eris Morn, our subject expert and lunar field agent, will oversee your mission.
Shortly after the Leviathan's arrival, it emitted a disruptive frequency.
We assumed the broadcast was comms interference.
But then the pyramid responded. I believe a connection has been made. Your task is to confirm that notion and assess the danger. The House of Callus falls to rot, and his loyalists have abandoned their posts. Ikora has spoken of these fungal growths before, in reference to the derelict Cabal cruiser, Glycon Volatus. This does not bode well. This is not the way. Do you see the phantoms? Strange that they have left the moon. They were generated by the lunar pyramid, dredged trauma like scorch marks lifted from a ruin. Is the entire vessel infested? More phantoms, congregating around something. On the moon, phantoms and nightmares alike were attracted to remnants of light, refracting them into weaponized projections of fear and doubt. Vines fused to spine and skull, stimulating brain activity. An experiential perpetuity, endlessly feeding the egregore.
Eris, do you see her?
Zavala?
Don't let her go.
Lightbearer, I have seen your kind before. You seek oblivion.
This could be a trap.
It's not. Pursue this lead.
All the same, proceed with caution.
She's gone.
Nightmares exploit a target's vulnerabilities. They do not make contact at random. But I do not believe this is the Guardian's nightmare. Stow your weapons! That Cabal radiates foul energy. Keep from sight! Destroy the Arc conduit. You've been seen! Move!
Come and see.
Egregore spores open one's consciousness to darkness, allowing passage through fungal barriers. Agitate the pod and coat yourself, but take care. We do not know what else lurks in that shared abstraction.
When you see, you will know what must be done.
That door leads to Callus's throne. The helm's instruments detect it is radiating pyramid resonance.
She's guiding us to Callus.
One of Callus's contraptions. It is time to leave. Hold fast. I will retrieve you. Something has placed itself between us. I cannot reach you. Guardian! Run!
Straight ahead.
I'm calling in your ship. Move! The lunar pyramid stirs to the Leviathan's call. It manifests our deepest regrets. They wear familiar faces and speak with familiar voices.
Remember your last advisor, Zavala. You trust this one's judgment?
I can bind these nightmares to us, grant us safe passage through the ship.
Hive magic. You would doom us all.
I know what I'm asking you to confront.
Do you?
The rules have bent around us. We must also bend.
Madness. Your witchcraft plays right into my father's hands. Find someone else for your ritual.
Your regrets will follow you, Empress. Let me offer protection.
My armor is protection enough. I will lead the charge. You need only follow.
No matter what happens, do not break the circle. This will anchor our offerings. Now, tithe your weights to the crown.
My heart, from a time long past.
My memory, from one life to the next.
Song of Sothona, your words are mine to command. Bolog, Ayat.
Eris!
Chords plucked in offered throats find chorus. Echoes once dissonant, exhumed, find harmony in binding flesh. It burdens. It burdens. It burdens until the choir relents, accepting. Ayat. We are bound. It is done. We are inexorably bound to the power of this hive artifact, and to one another. The Crown of Sorrow was once forged by Savathun's hand, designed as a psychic prison, binding the mind of its bearer to her will. Now it serves a new witch. You have become a reaper of darkness, dooming slain nightmares to imprisonment within the crown. Callus has begun to forge a bond between the Leviathan and the dormant pyramid buried on the moon. I do not yet know why or how, but with enough imprisoned nightmares, I can use their essence to invoke a ritual to sever those connections Callus is forging. For now, return to the Leviathan and seek out concentrations of these new nightmares. Destroy them and bind them to the crown. As I warned Zavala, nightmares wear familiar faces and speak with familiar voices. They manifest our darkest fears. You will assist Crow when it comes time to perform the first severance ritual. We both know what form his nightmare will take. It will do everything in its power to stop you. Be wary. These nightmares have been drawn from the moon by the Leviathan's siren song. The trauma that bore them into this world is anchored there, not here. They are lost, perhaps even confused, if such phantoms can experience emotion beyond the snapshot of pain they represent. We may be able to disperse them by resolving their associated traumas.
Did you think it would be that simple?
You have drawn out a powerful nightmare. See that it is destroyed. Nightmares rise, and the harvester stirs to life, yearning for their pain. This scythe burns with the power of your will. Use it to shatter the nightmare's defenses. Magnificent. A powerful nightmare has risen nearby. Find it and destroy it.
All clear.
This is a waste of your time. Go home. Our sister needs us. I know you want to see her. I can feel it. There are things you want to say to her, so say them. She will listen. I wonder how Mara is feeling right now, with her baby brother alive and refusing to acknowledge her. What a cruel knife to wield.
She's not my sister. I'm not doing this to spite her.
So you admit you're ignoring her on purpose? Is it because you're scared of her? Or because you're scared of who you are when you're around her?
No.
Oh. Or maybe you're just afraid you like it.
Shut up. Shut up!
Fight, Guardian. No one will fight for you.
Welcome to the Underbelly, Guardians. Your mission is simple, but nonetheless treacherous. Deal our first cut in severing Callus's connection to the pyramid. You both have a route to the severance site, and ritual amplifiers to place. Crow, as above on the Leviathan, so too nightmares will manifest below. Yours takes the shape of Uldren Sov. Endure him. Each amplifier grounds our severance in the Leviathan's connection to the darkness.
Loyalist welcoming party ahead. Maybe I can find a way around.
This is what the Traveler made you for. We're killers. Don't shy away from it.
I don't kill unless I have to.
Right. You only murder the deserving. Like Caitl's scion.
That was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Lucky Saladin owned it for us. Just like Mara always used to.
Uninvited guests slithers through the bowels of my Leviathan. This mechanical appendage is maintained
poorly, unable to see the grandeur of your brave face. Come now, closer. Let me bask in you.
Another trap? I keep you a distance. Our mission takes precedence.
I can feel their light bearer. Our last encounter was hostile. I forgive you. Embrace me, and I will share such wonders with the Vanguard that your paltry light could never outshine. Allow me to open you, mind and body, as mine have been opened. Simply turn back and enjoy what is to come.
There is a barrier ahead. This pod's spores will grant you passage.
Sounds like we both hit resistance, Guardian. I doubt they had as much trouble as you. I've seen them work. At least I'm not one and done. You take resurrection for granted. Remember how we begged Mara to save us? To make us awoken as we slipped away from existence? Do you ever stop talking?
Guardian, that's your second amplifier? Good. Crow mimics a stoic affectation well enough. But I can tell his nightmare is wearing away at him.
So, Guardian, the Crow wants to be me, or he's afraid he already is?
Is there a third option?
Languish in your miserable limbo of a life? The Scorn will drag you into mine eventually.
Those Elixni deserve to rest in peace. What you did to them, I would never.
We raised them, gave them a second chance. I thought you were all about second chances.
That lifted the lockdown, Guardian. Arc energy is being diverted through a nearby conduit.
Where did those Scorn come from?
I told you. Our prodigal children, returning to their father. Can't you hear them calling? Why did you abandon us? Ow. You're awfully bitter.
Damn right I'm bitter. You had everything, and you set it on fire for her!
You rose out of those ashes. A guardian. Noble. Admired. Even by her. I'm ready to finish this. Is this why you pushed so hard to remember me, little bird? So you could burn Uldren at the stake and prove your independence? It's the right thing to do. I have to. How many failed attempts to do the right thing before you realize our fervor always backfires? Mara had you wrapped around her finger. Everything I do is because I want to. Sure. Outcome's the same, isn't it? You cut out pieces of yourself until there was nothing left of your humanity. You enjoyed it. That's the difference. Please. You'd swallow all those whiny little morals given the right push. You've come so close already. That's why you run. I'm not running. We'll see. Our legacy is calling.
Father.
I'm I'm losing it!
You can endure this. The dreadful blade manifests from the Harvester.
It grows alone. Painted just like you were. You can help him, but you just don't. Because it's one more step towards me. It's why you won't help our sister either. After everything Mara's done for us.
I don't want her help!
This isn't a knife fight, Crow. Accept his words. Move through them.
No! No. I'm going to enjoy ripping him out of me.
Try. I'll just burrow back in, over and over until I'm all you have.
Eris, what do I do?
Retreat is not weakness. Breathe. We can try again, in time.
Sorry I let you down. Come to tell me it's not my fault? Hey, Guardian. I know this is on me. You don't have to feed me any comforting platitudes. I've been running from the truth for long enough. You know, when I first came to the city, I told these little lies about who I was or where I came from. Nothing hurtful, just a few stories to keep a comfortable distance from the truth. To fill in the blanks when I got my memories back. I remembered Uldren did the same thing. He started little rumors, recounted adventures to an audience, planted gossip in Mara's ear just to watch those stories spread. We're exactly the same. Down to the instincts. It's in my blood. I thought I could do this. I thought I could prove to Zavala and Caitl and you and everyone else that I was better than him. But lies... they only get us so far.
It appears the situation is far more complex than I first believed. The Leviathan has become an extension of the lunar pyramid, channeling feelings of shame and regret into reality. The pyramid did so as a security system, driving away those who would tamper with it. But what is happening on the Leviathan? This is purposeful. Malicious. As the nightmares on the Leviathan spread, it could threaten Earth and beyond. Calus's bond with the pyramid endangers all of us. Crow was unprepared to face his own demons when we attempted to sever it. And though I may be able to counsel him through the next confrontation, that will take time. You should return to the Leviathan. Continue harvesting the nightmares and disrupting Calus's plans. We will speak again soon. There is a misconception among the Vanguard that nightmares are like spirits. That they are who they appear to be. This is untrue. They are forged from the darkness and born of your own subconscious fears, desires, and regrets. They have only as much power as you give them. We project our shame on these nightmares and make them real, but they are not inherently evil, no more than the darkness itself is. The nightmares are a weapon, and a weapon can be turned on its creator. I believe I have found a way to do just that. We approached the last ritual of severance the wrong way, attempting to banish the nightmare of Uldren. But I should have known. Denial is not the way. Return to the Leviathan, Guardian. Harvest the nightmare essence we need to perform the ritual again. And perhaps this time acceptance will succeed where rejection has failed.
We need to talk.
This is not a good time.
It's never a good time. I've been trying to talk to you for weeks and you keep dodging me.
I can't. It's not... Amanda...
How long did you know? How long have you known who you were? We're done. We're done here. I do not have time for this, for you, for anything.
Wait. I was scared. I am scared. People used to kill me for something I didn't... You don't understand!
I cared about you and you lied to me. You wore that mask. You kept secrets from me, pretended to be my friend.
Amanda, I am your friend.
No, you're not. I had a friend and you murdered him.
Hey, how's the clan going?
You arrive. Good. Yes. We have only a brief window of opportunity.
The darkness is thick here, coalesced inside this effigy of Emperor Callus. It is tethered to his very mind. I have snared that thread, caught it between my fingers and woven it into a tapestry. One that I can weave you into. Enter Callus's consciousness. Use this opportunity to steal his darkest secrets from him. Now go. Time is of the essence. I will be... What you feel may seem like reality, but it is not the one you know. Your mind now stretches across a vast gulf. Though while this world is born of Callus's thoughts, it is no less dangerous than physical reality. This is not what I anticipated. The imprint of Callus's consciousness is fractured, straining, as if Callus's mind is at war with itself.
My rise as Emperor is an ancient tradition of our people.
Callus? No, not Callus, but an echo of him. This is a recollection of a time since past.
My barely conquest was so grand, because I lived a grand life. One day, my daughter, will be just as majestic.
You are experiencing echoes of Callus's personal torment. Glimpses into his past which may provide insight to the future. I must focus to maintain your connection to this mindscape. From here, you must navigate these memories on your own.
Exile is the mighty Ghaul, too great a coward to kneel down and take my head from my shoulders. I am as you made me, and I would kill you were it my choice. But it is not. Caitl stayed my blade. Remember that. You were bred to be a sorrow bearer. I seek a hive commander, but those are not so readily available. So I made you. There was a time I would have gladly laid in death beside you, here in these crypts. But we were both different then. No one of honor will be interred here. The dead are raw materials and nothing more. Shadows were cast here. History made. Do not open She's more beautiful than any star I've ever beheld. I name her Caitl, for the brightest star in our sky. May she outshine it always. My daughter, my star, my betrayer.
Breathe. Breathe. You have returned to reality. I shared your experiences and am uncertain what to make of it all, but I believe there is yet more to find within. Should you be willing to delve into his nightmares again?
Happy?
The Praetorian's time has come to an end. Too long have the people of Torabottle languished under their heel. A world that knows only war has no future. We were not always conquerors. We were not always tyrants. If violence carved us into the shape of what we are now, then so shall violence be that shape's undoing. Ever since she was born, Caitl has shown a curiosity for the world beyond. She shares my fascinations. I worry for her, for the galaxy she will grow up in, for the future of our people. But perhaps the time for worries is at an end. My daughter will grow up knowing only celebration, triumph, and peace. This is the world I made. Peace is distracted. I was too kind in my coup against the Praetorians, drank too deep of the cup of mercy. Now, the long shadows in the night, hands clutching knives, eyes at my back. I hear them whispering. I hear them. Soon, those whispers will become screams. The Ghost Primus is the answer to this sedition. My Red Legion, anointed in blood. My servants come, but I refuse their succor. I will not feast. I will not drink. I will wither away until there is nothing left. My mouth has been turned to poison in my veins. They do not appreciate all that I have done to them. My sacrifices! All betrayal is inevitable. We are a ring of beasts, feasting upon one another. At the edge of the universe, I stared into the infinite deep. It stared back and was pleased. I become the herald of its victory and bear witness for all creation. The key is to realize the future isn't an enemy to be fought. It is a friend to embrace, a closing of the circle. And when the end comes, I reserve the right to be last. Savathun, she nearly had me. Had I not birthed Ghaul, had he not donned the crown, I would be lost. The voice warned me of her, but I did not heed it. And the voice is so silent now. The promised end is at hand, as worlds are swallowed into nothing, and I hear nothing. Excruciating silence. Perhaps I have displeased it. Or perhaps I'm not listening hard enough. In my haste to find a suitable bearer for the crown of sorrow, I failed to see a more elegant solution. The Hive were not those who could most elegantly bear the crown. My shadow, Catabasis, found the alternative. Mindless corpses of fallen, risen through an Ahamkara's wish magic, fueled by darkness-infused ether, the Scorn. The only component that was missing was a connective tissue, and this, the Egregore spores would provide. Through the crowd of sorrow, the voice in the darkness called out to me, beckoning me to the absence of Mercury. At first, I feared the Leviathan would not survive the journey, as the Glycon had been rent asunder by a similar journey. But my Leviathan, it is strong. Its heart beats anew, and as it pierced the veil of creation, the voice greeted me. There were such sights to behold. There, in that gravity shadow, I was truly seen. There, I understood my goal, closed the circle. The witness opened its mind to me, and I saw my darkest desire made reality. I will be the last. It is my right. I am the herald. I am the end. The witness's voice is so strong now. I hear it clearer than my own. I understand now what true paracausality is. The light and the dark are threads on a loom, woven into the tapestry of the universe by those who wield it. The witness would see things differently. The gaps between those threads. Freedom from the greater design. Freedom for all. I have reached the limits of what this crumbling body can offer. And yet there is so much more that I must do. I must shed my remaining attachments to this flesh and ascend. The others have, and a path is laid before me. There is fear in this. Fear of losing myself. But there is no other way. I must prove my loyalty, or wither. To understand the final shape, I must become more than myself.
Your mission remains, but a malicious tinge creeps these halls.
A tinge? And the amplifiers are down, so failing my severance. I made things worse.
Are you surprised?
The ship was changing before we arrived, Crow.
After which, things did not improve.
Then let's get to fixing it.
The amplifiers appear to be fighting an unknown interference, but they are working.
These vines wriggle into everything, changing it. Reminds me of adventuring in the Black Garden. Our turning points always seem to come by force.
Maybe yours.
Yes. You've had an overabundance of choice in your life. Certainly not a lost child ricocheting between authority figures. How's your stewardship of him been, Guardian?
This is between you and me.
Steady.
Listen to your handler. Wouldn't want to jeopardize the mission.
Guardian. Went smoother this time.
He's picking up on some of my old tricks. Starting to aim like me.
Using your tricks against you sounds good to me.
A lot of attitude for somebody who broke down crying last time we were here. Will your aim stay steady when the Scorn call you father?
If they attack me, if I have to.
If?
And that's the door. Keep up, Uldren.
You attempt to halt a cosmic performance that is beyond you. A beauty forged outside of your understanding. You struggle, as I did. A grub fattened on the lies of reality, writhing within a suffocating existence. But the silken walls of that cocoon are not a grave, little grub. They are petals, waiting to bloom. Soon, you will emerge to see the magnanimous arc of eternity unfurl before you. Its story laid bare. You will understand what I understand. Our end is set. All that remains is the drama of our strife, the struggle to push open our walls. So, resist if you must. It is in your nature to defy, even against your own best interests. It will only hasten your revelation.
The Vanguard. You were supposed to be heir of the reef. Talk about a step down. Mara must be furious.
The Queen is content that Crow has found his own path.
She said that? Turning over a new leaf, I suppose.
Amplifier established. Crow will reach his second beacon shortly. The interference appears to be echoed by the phantoms that haunt the Leviathan's halls. It is spreading. The lockdown is again lifted, and power rerouted. Proceed.
I can't imagine seeing a stranger with my sibling's face, but finding out that someone isn't who you thought they were, I understand that.
Obviously. It's your entire life.
I'm a guardian of the city. I'm sure Mara and I will work together at some point. We'll just need some Realignment.
You hearing this, Guardian? 1 foot back in the reef. Prince Crow doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but we'll get by.
Funny. That's the last one. I'm ready when you are, Guardian.
Crow, you can do this. You are strong enough.
When we first touched down, I wasn't sure. But I trust you. Both of you.
I'm ready to finish this.
I empathize with your devotion to a cause, but aren't you tired of this little dance?
I hadn't found my footing before. This time, I'm ready for you.
Put it to rest, Guardian.
I told myself a story about who you were. A villain strung together from whispers of the things you'd done. But you're right. I'm scared. I'm scared that our nature might make my friends dangerous to me. Or me to them. We all have parts we wish weren't there. But acknowledging them can make us stronger. I'll always be balancing on the edge of something terrible. But now I have someone to pull me back. Who? You. I can learn from your mistakes.
My triumphs, too.
Yeah. You point out the pitfalls, I'll fill them in. We'll right your wrongs together. See you around. Guardian. Eris. I did it.
See, you are stronger than your doubts presumed. The Leviathan's connection to the pyramid phrase. Our gamble is working, Guardians.
Second chances. Turns out I've been using mine wrong. I thought being a guardian was my destiny. That wielding the light for good was the most I had to offer. But it's clear now. This is what the Traveler chose me for. I was reforged in the light for a purpose. To remake something dead and gone into something beautiful. To learn how to forge something new from what we were. Everything Uldren did to the reef, the scorn, Fikrul. I have a responsibility. No. A calling to make them whole. And I can't replace Caitl. But I can cover his old patrols. Maybe organize the hunters a bit, if they'll let me. Clean up some of my mess. I don't know if I can fix everything Uldren left broken. But I can try.
I have long said that the darkness can be used as a power for good, even when others doubted. By helping Crow to accept his past as Uldren Sov, we have changed the inherent nature of a nightmare into something new. A manifestation of healed trauma. A memory of the man Crow once was. The best of him. Uldren is as much a part of Crow as the darkness is a part of you or me. And there is more to it than pain. In this success, we have discovered the key to our victory. Through our bond, the Crown of Sorrow, we could convert the nightmares into a force against Callus. But the process to convert these psychic constructs will not be an easy one. It is a battle Guardians are not accustomed to fighting. I know that shortcoming all too well. Resume your work aboard the Leviathan, Guardian, and I will prepare for the next severance ritual.
Per our arrangement, I am delivering a status report on the Imperial survey of the Leviathan. Our scouts confirm your reports of psychic anomalies emanating from the red phantoms seen throughout the ship. Scion Opti theorized that these phantoms are manifestations forged from a psychic background radiation permeating the Leviathan. Darkness. Navigational equipment shows that the Leviathan entered a gravitational anomaly and it was at once within and outside of the known universe for an indeterminate period of time. When it emerged from this state, most of its crew were missing, and an infestation of unknown fungal matter had infiltrated all decks of the ship. Command structure appears to have broken down. Loyalists who emerged from the anomaly disembarked from the Leviathan. We are attempting to determine their location. Those currently aboard are newly grown, combat-ready clones that have no higher brain function. They operate as an extension of my father's will. At Vallis Forge's suggestion, I have submitted a recommendation for Crow to participate in a joint investigation to supplement our own. It is my hope that together, we can tear into the beating heart of the Leviathan and drag my father screaming into the light of your sun. Till such a time, we are Cabal, we eat the mountains, we drink the seas.
Well done. I have a message for your commander. Tell him not to fall to temptation as I did. Our enemies wield our love like daggers. Protect your hearts.
With change comes opportunity. In studying this memory of Uldren Sov, a truer nature of the nightmares is revealed. They are born of darkness, and drawn to it like moths to a flame. Callus is such a fire. Through the Leviathan, Callus's mind reaches down to the lunar pyramid, forging the connection that draws the nightmares to him. And should that connection be severed,
we can stop Callus dead in his tracks before he causes any more damage. Your success with Crow isn't going to go unnoticed. Callus will push back. He may be doing so already. Recently, I've been visited in the Helm and elsewhere by one of the nightmares Eris bound to the Crown. We need to push harder. I will be accompanying your next severance mission to weaken Callus's connection to the pyramid. You and I will get this done.
go to the Leviathan and harvest the necessary essence of the nightmares. We must enact the next ritual of severance before it is too late. And Guardian, keep watch over Zavala. As with Crow, the Commander may find confronting his past to be the most difficult mission he has ever faced.
I feel like a stranger in my own skin. Does my ghost even recognize me as the man he raised?
You are a warrior. Your true identity is only known to your enemies in the split second before their deaths. This is your truth.
Maybe. Maybe I've never been more than an instrument of violence. But sometimes, I wish I was more than that.
You are a leader for those who need to be led. A champion for those who cannot be one. You are enough.
Zavala. I heard a voice over comms earlier. Was that?
Yes. It was.
Are you sure you want to do this? You could take a step back, let me shoulder some of the burden.
No, Saladin. I made my choice. And now I have to see it through.
Lightbearers spill blood without any thought to how much they have in their own bodies. Do you even remember the last time you felt it leave you? Your deaths are usually so quick, almost effortless. You rise like a bird, snapping so easily back into flight. Someone should teach you pain, Guardian. Be humble.
The second severance is at hand. We proceed as you wish, Commander. But whatever you hear, you must press forward.
Understood. Thank you, Eris.
Set your amplifiers. Sever Callus' connection. And tread carefully.
I see your new protege, Zavala. I wonder, have you told them what became of the last warrior you trained?
This construct is coded in the same spores found aboard the Glycon. Ikora says they could connect consciousness through the darkness.
Isn't it magnificent? The Leviathan was once my prison, but now we are one body. Its systems, my mind.
Is that so? Mechanical function is compromised, Guardian. It's harmless. Don't let him stall you.
I wouldn't dream of it. It is a unique delight to feel the Leviathan's inhabitants wriggling through my innards. And when you do battle across my steely flesh, an unmatched sensation. Caress every dark reach you can find. In your futile journey, you will come to see things my way. You will lay down your arms and stay. On that night, I'll raise a chalice to your lips, and we will feast.
Amplifier online. I'm detecting the commanders as well. As we learned with Crow, these devices will help. But our success hinges on resolving Zavala's inner demons.
Guardian, how can you trust Zavala when you keep secret the life he led before the city? I knew him before he was your commander. When he was young and boastful, we used to sit together, listening to the cicadas. He listens to them sometimes still.
They remind me of what I lost.
Focus, Zavala.
I am.
Why do you leave our names unspoken? Do the memories of that time pain you so much?
Security lockdown lifted across all nearby bulkheads. You are clear to proceed.
Fire team, come in.
We are with you.
I was ambushed by Scorn and a horror I couldn't bring down. I couldn't reach you.
He is shaken. Zavala, tell them to proceed. Confide in them. Why hide your feelings?
It doesn't matter how I feel.
That is why you will fail. You put your duty before your heart.
The phantoms trapped in this fetid hull sustain something that is growing. Zavala's nightmare is a part of it, but each amplifier further isolates her presence from Callus's hold.
Stay with me a little longer. Life moved on around us, but we can wait here for a moment.
You chose to move when you could have stayed.
Safi,
Don't. You have made your choice.
Go on ahead. I'll find my own way.
Final amplifier set. I must be seeing things. The Scorn are wearing... Impossible. The House of Devils is gone.
Your eyes deceive you. Don't be fooled. You've reached the Severance site, Commander. The Guardian is closing on your position.
The brave Zavala holds his offering in clenched fingers, afraid to lose the pain he has kept close for so long.
It's all I have left.
You hoard our memory like a starving animal hoards bones, and call that reverence.
I mourned. I begged for your forgiveness. What more can I do?
Speak our names. Release us.
Guardian.
You said you mourned our deaths, Zavala. Stood at our graves, cried out in prayer to your traveler.
For a long time.
What good did it do? No ghosts found us. Instead, the traveler gave the light to your enemies.
It's not that simple.
It is that simple. That abandoner deserves your duty more than me, more than our son. It is why you left us both to die alone.
Don't use him like that. I chose you. I tried to give it away.
You killed him, as much as the Fallen did. You wove your gallantry into his bones. My son's killers should meet.
She's slipping away from me.
Strength, Zavala. See through your guilt. He still carries blame. We cannot proceed until he finds forgiveness.
Forgiveness? You shared meals with Fallen behind your walls, after what they took. This new life dishonors your old one. It dishonors your son.
Hakim.
Your true family wouldn't torment you. This is your grief, Zavala.
My husband is not a liar, and I am speaking his words. He knows what he is.
A hollow man leading others to die. For a silent god.
Enough. Guardian, bring the commander back before any more damage is done.
A hollow man leading others to die. For a silent god. Is that what I've become? Have the years whittled away my nerve? I was convinced that seeing her might make things easier. That her absence cuts deeper than her presence. But they are equally sharp. Sophia. She wants me to speak her name. To confide my feelings in you. What good does it do? Go and see Eris. I'll tell her you're coming. She'll know what to say.
Zavala will not speak to you of his regrets. But I will not let him bear them alone. Here, listen closely. Whispers and confessions as I have heard them. He would tell it differently. But memory clings so loosely to the truth. I will share what I know. Before the Vanguard, before the city, there was a woman. Her name was Sophia, and she was a surgeon. She came to Lord Saladin's gates, offering her skills in exchange for shelter. Zavala was his protege then. He had been taught his purpose, and he followed it without question. She maddened him. He infuriated her. But respect grew to admiration, and admiration to love. Does it surprise you that Zavala loved? She was meticulous and gentle, strong-willed, stubborn, fearless. It began with an infant, orphaned in a fallen raid. Saladin had taught Zavala duty, war, and the light. But Sophia showed him that he was more than an instrument of violence. She had one life, and she would share it with him. They called the boy Hakim. And he called Zavala father. In his joy, Zavala thought to abandon the light, as he had abandoned Saladin's ways. That joy ended as it began, with their son. When Hakim followed his father into battle, Zavala could not protect him, and Sophia could not save him. Hakim died in his mother's arms. Zavala wanted her forgiveness, but she knew there was nothing to forgive. And that giving up the light would be no absolution for him. They returned to the lives they once led. She found love again. She had a daughter. And when Sophia passed, he asked her to forgive him. Through each generation, he mourned. He asked for their forgiveness. And still, he has not found it. Zavala's wounds run deeper than he allows us to see. The lengths he has gone to cut himself off from his heart is familiar. It is through accepting what we cannot change where we find the strength to move forward. We grieve, we move, and we grow. Zavala only knows grief. But perhaps there is hope in others, in the council of friends and family. There is no running from his truth any longer. The past is laid bare, and so too the commander's heart. Resume your patrols aboard the Leviathan, Guardian, and I will see what can be done elsewhere.
Hey, Commander. How you holding up?
I've been better. Sounds like you have too.
Yeah. Pretty tore up inside. Any little thing sets me off. I'd have said some hurtful stuff to somebody who didn't deserve it.
We've all been at our worst. When we're hurt, when we're afraid. We all fall apart.
Feels like I'm held together by duct tape and spit lately.
The last few weeks have opened up some old wounds. Reminded me of important people I've lost. My wife. My son.
Yeah. I know that kind of hurt. Other way around, though. I still think about my folks, but I can't really remember their voices anymore.
I can't remember Hakim's voice either. I try so hard.
You wanna tell me about him? Your wife?
Someday. Not today. Not yet.
Want some company down in your office anyway? We don't have to talk. Maybe we just sit.
I'd like that. Thank you, Amanda.
Ain't nothing. It's what family does.
We begin again, with fresh eyes and open hearts. I believe the Commander has found the strength he needs. So too must we marshal ourselves for the task ahead, for there is more at stake here. As time progresses, Calus's hold on the lunar pyramid grows in strength. For each connection we have severed, the remaining grows stronger. The nightmares only increase in number, and soon I fear they will overflow from the Leviathan and spread across the system. Zavala is ready to face his past again. Collect the necessary reagents for the next ritual and join him on the Leviathan. We cannot afford to fail again.
Eris, what happens to her if we succeed?
That is unclear. I'm sorry.
My love is still afraid to let me go. The Traveler called you all from your graves to be broken over and over again. An endless sacrifice. But that is not my purpose. Let me rest.
Strange. As the underbelly succumbs to this transformation, it has begun to elicit a constant subsonic frequency.
Is Calus doing this to the ship?
Through the pyramid, yes. It is breaking the Leviathan's bones to reset them elsewhere.
So he is not so different from your god. From the god of our son's murderers.
The Traveler is not my god.
It is said broken bones heal stronger than before, but this is a lie. They are forever weakened. Was Hakim's death a breakage to reset you under the Traveler's watch? Am I the weakness you carry forever?
The lockdown is lifted. Prepare yourself for whatever we've unleashed.
To continue chasing pain when you could slumber in euphoria everlasting. That is a foolish endeavor, Guardian. Think of your commander. He mourns this woman you seek to exploit against me. Bring him to me instead. I will shower him with my blessings, give him the power to see his love return. He may keep her as long as he wishes. For I am benevolent, and that is only a taste of my generosity. A taste that extends to you as well. Eternity is what I offer. Consideration is all I have.
Zavala sees Hakim's faith in his vanquished, and in you, Guardian.
I want to see him. I close my eyes, but they're only flashes. I try to remember him exactly as he was. I try.
I see his face too. Anew and choked. Fear and pain I cannot stop. Then nothing. And I am alone.
Forgive me.
This frequency you isolated, it's almost like a voice, muddled in the dissonant churn between Pyramid and Leviathan. It's resonating through Phantom and Nightmare alike, manipulating their psychic connection to the darkness. It must end.
We can remember why we lived our life without hating why we lost it.
I hate my son's murderers. The god they followed. That it has taken you too.
That's not fair.
Live with your decisions. That and duty are all you have to hold close.
I'll set this amplifier, Guardian, and meet you ahead.
All amplifiers broadcasting. Isolation complete. Now there's only the severance. Zavala is ready, Guardian. See to your side of things, and we will prevail.
I've reached the site, preparing the harvester.
This mission won't bring you the peace you desire. Your devotion to the Traveler rewards you only with war and death. Never peace.
I'm not doing this for the Traveler. I'm doing it for you.
Your hands are pressed against a wound to staunch bleeding. It spills through your fingers. You are soaked in it. I knew when to let go. When to wash the blood from my hands. Do you?
Guardian.
How many pawns has the Traveler sacrificed to conscript Commander Zavala into its service? When it leaves you too, will you become like the Fallen?
Guardians stand for more than the Traveler. We make our own fate.
Don't let up, Guardian. Be brave.
I wish I could step back into that life. Or that you could step into mine.
What would I do with this broken man you've become?
You teach me to heal again. We'd watch our scars fade together. Sophie? There's so much. The years have made apologies lose their meaning. But I am sorry.
You can only apologize for something that is your fault. Hakim wouldn't want to see you mourn. He'd want his father to be proud of his courage. As I am proud of yours.
Hakim should know his father feels nothing but pride. That's why I trusted him to protect you. You've given me a lot to consider. About where I put my faith.
Analyzing the whims of a silent god? You'll mold those thoughts over into dust. There's not always an answer. Let go and rest.
Yesterday I was too tired to rest. Today, Safi, Hakim, I'll find you in my dreams. I'm glad it was you standing with me.
Zavala should be commended. It is not easy to forgive one's own regrets. Another thread frays between Pyramid and Leviathan, Guardian. And yet I feel the next will test us most of all.
When I first saw Sophia return as a nightmare, I was afraid. I didn't want her to reveal what I'd done. I did everything I could to save Hakim. I can accept that now. But back then, guilt, like gravity, warps our perception of what is real. His death carved out a place in me. And everyone I lose under my command only compounds that feeling. Sophia knew that. She understood that losing him only pushed me further toward being a guardian. She knew that I couldn't stand by and watch the world burn. Because in her own way, neither could she. After everything we faced aboard the Leviathan, I'm left to wonder, have I made the right choices? I don't regret all the good the city has done, or that I was a part of it. But what it took to get here, what it's taken to keep it. Our minds weren't meant for this many years. Like so many other things, we have a word for eternity, without the capacity to comprehend what it actually means. When is enough? Enough. Maybe it's time to let go.
It is done. Another of Calus's connections to the lunar pyramid is severed. We are poised to strike the final blow. And yet, I find myself unable to enjoy this success. It has come too easily. Only one connection remains to the lunar pyramid, and Calus has barely reacted. There is a piece of his agenda that we cannot yet see. I know it. To be this close and still feel as though it is but a mirage is infuriating. I will find the answer to our final severance. For now, continue your exploration of the Leviathan. Any piece of information, no matter how small, could change everything.
Conquering one's demons is a noble task. There are many stories of Cabal heroes who did the same. Now, they live forever, as legends.
I don't want to be a legend, Caitl.
Too late. Even we have stories about the great Commander Zavala. Only we do not call him that.
Did you need something, Empress?
This is not a formal communication. This is a private reckoning. One warrior to another.
I see. I fought countless battles where my life was on the line. Won and lost them. Nothing like this. Never as hard.
As I told your crow once, battles fought in the theater of the mind and heart are just as brutal as ones fought with flesh and bone. We all bear our scars, victories, defeats. Some openly with pride, some others hidden away beneath layers of shameful armor. This battle was the most honest of your risen life. You won.
I don't feel like I've won any battles. I just feel tired and old.
And yet, you still stand.
Daughter, do you hear me?
I do.
And do you hear him, too? She does. And if she is wise, she will listen. And the armistice between humanity and the Cabal, it is an affront against everything that we are.
The Leviathan's corruption spreads like a plague. Even as we succeed, Calus's influence strengthens. I had thought his presence at the moon was fascination. He has always been an explorer of the unknown, a researcher of malign intent but boundless curiosity. But this feels different. If Calus's experiments in communing with the darkness aboard the Glycon was a theory, what we see here and aboard the Leviathan is that theory put into practice. Caitl has observed Crow and Zavala's successes from afar. She wishes to help us sever Calus's connection to the pyramid by confronting the nightmare of Dominus Ghaul. He haunts her relentlessly, as Uldren haunted Crow, as Sophia haunted Zavala. But Caitl was not bound with us. There is no certainty a ritual would succeed. I have advised her to remain aboard her flagship for now. In the meantime, we continue our preparations while I look for another solution. I will contact you soon.
Attention, Vanguard. I have been patient. I have listened to your warnings and kept my landing parties from raiding the Leviathan. But still, Calus eludes your guardians, and the nightmare of Ghaul continues to hang over my head. My patience has its limits. Ghaul is the last, our only remaining opposition. Then Calus cannot hide. Your ritual only requires I defeat the Dominus's nightmare. So be it. Do not interfere, Guardian. I am Cabal, and this conquest is mine to claim. There must be a proving, an acceptance from the old ways. So, as a gladiator entering an arena, I issue my challenge. Dominus, are you listening? I aim to finish what we began all those years ago. You won't stop me. Ghaul, I challenge you. In the depths of my father's tomb, we do battle.
Eris, have you pinpointed Caithl's position?
No. But I have inserted the Guardian near her drop pod's breach point. We will find her. I'll keep you informed of the situation as it develops.
Move quickly. She may be in danger.
What are you doing, Guardian? This conquest is mine. Fight Callus's loyalists alongside my soldiers if you must, but do not assist me.
Tell me the Vanguard doesn't hold long range, Caitl.
Without the binding, you are vulnerable. At least wait for the Guardian.
Do you hear the doubt? She disrespects you. They all do.
My throne cannot be challenged by what we were, or what others want us to be. There is one Cabal. All others will submit or fall. I'm ready for you.
Caitl was not bound with us. Amplifiers may not help her. Our time is better served making sure she isn't killed. A hammer of proving, commemorating Ghaul's joining the Red Legion.
Your Ghaul is a monster, but mine is legend. A pit fighter who climbed the Red Legion, then led an armada to shatter the last city. Proof that fate could be defied and brought to submit. I thought I could do that.
But you didn't. You brought words instead of fire.
I was taught to hone my mind.
But Ghaul taught you your mind was a weapon. Oh, thank you for this gift, Guardian. We truly are friends, aren't we? Caitl has hunted me for so long now. To feel her rage burn through the underbelly, driven by Ghaul's brutalism, it is intoxicating. Like the aroma of drippings hitting a crackling fire, an inescapable, primal draw. That is vengeance. Beneath me, as I ascend to peace. But still enjoyable to look down on. Your mission hangs in the balance. Caitl is getting away from you. Fly. I wish to watch the chase. I thought I'd beaten Callus's softness from you.
My shield held the line as our people evacuated Toro Bottle. My shield!
You're retreated. Death before dishonor, Caitl. You used to know that.
Turbines halting. The Severance site is not far, and now the way is open. Go. Cabal pride be damned.
The light spawn ignores your commands. They have forgotten Cabal dominance.
You are mine, Dominus. But if they wish to see you beaten, I won't deny them.
Bring the Guardian, then. I will gladly remind them what fear feels like.
Get on with it. In my youth, I watched you cut your way to the top of the fighting pits, like a bloodied idol. I thought you were magnificent.
What did you learn watching me rise?
Tenacity, ruthlessness, guile. The same crude tools the Hive brought to our home.
Tools you cast away when desperation drove you to beg. You grovel to our enemies for protection, like Callus's gorged aristocrats when the coup crashed on their doors.
Your way proved inadequate to save our people. How can you not see that?
I see our home burning under your banner. Weakness runs in your blood. I will show you myself.
What's taking so long?
Keep to your task.
Ghaul conquered this system! Ghaul exiled Callus! Ghaul broke the Traveler's will! You have squandered my victories with your ineptitude. You're not the Caitl I trained. She was feared as a star pilot, dreaded with a cleaver, a warrior. Where is she?
She died, smoldering in the ashes of Torabottle. Your lessons with her.
Then that is where she will stay.
Caitl, without the binding ritual, it is as I feared. We must abandon this.
I don't need a Hive-tainted witch to explain my failure.
Then I won't.
I can smell the hatred of the Hive upon you.
This nightmare is quelled. Buried in the screams of its death throes lies a call to the pyramid. Callus must have used the relic in this place as a focusing point in lieu of the connections we've severed to the Pyramid Guardian. Callus's loyalists. Egregore spores line their esophagus. They are freshly dead. Empty. I see now. Their lives were forfeit, spent as a cost to ferry Callus's mind across a vast distance and hasten ingress to the pyramid. Our foe is desperate. But that means our plan is working. I must speak with Caitl. Return to me.
Callus knew exactly what he was doing, goading his daughter into striking out on her own, manipulating her. But there is a silver lining to this cloud. The information you retrieved on the moon has proven to be the final piece of Callus's puzzle. It is no mere curiosity that drew him to the lunar pyramid. He is a consciousness that spreads out like a vascular system. And he is attempting to become one with the pyramid, so that he may control it. So that he may wield its power. Worse, it appears as though Callus is not doing so of his own volition. He is doing it at the behest of another, our true enemy. The voice in the darkness. The witness. You must return to the Leviathan, Guardian. Continue your work there while I prepare a ritual to add the Empress to our bond.
Lord, would your ritual have prevented my failure?
Now you seek the counsel of a Hive-tainted witch.
Do you revel in your foresight? Do you delight in witnessing my shame?
I offered you my support. That offer remains. Know that this failure does not define you, Caitl.
You will address me as Empress.
You are not a crown. You do this for yourself, not for the Cabal.
I am the Cabal.
No, you are a woman with a burden, as I was.
There can be no such distinction. Torabottle lies in ashes. From my ranks rise traitors and spies. My incompetence threatens the future of my people. There is no quarter for failure.
You speak Ghaul's words. They erode the truth. What is your nightmare? An expectation you must shed like dead skin. What will remain when you do so?
I do not know.
Then you must look past your shame and say, I am more.
Very well. Prepare your ritual.
It awaits.
We stand at the precipice of victory. There is but one final link that remains between Caitl and the Pyramid, and we are ready to strike at it. Caitl has been brought into our ritual bond. She is now prepared to confront the nightmare of Ghaul and undo her father's work. However, by my estimates, Caitl has already infiltrated the paracausal matrix of the lunar pyramid. The dark below groans and churns with excitement at this revelation. Emanations from the lunar pyramid whisper a singular psychic demand to all who can perceive it. Rejoice. Caitl is overconfident, and we must take advantage. Go, return to the Leviathan and prepare.
Tell me, Caitl, are these guardians not just simple vessels for their light?
They are more than that. They are born of nothing but ashes, and must rise from them to determine their own destinies by sheer will.
But without the light, I have felt them squirm beneath my boot. They are nothing.
And I have felt them at my side, ready to lend their strength if my blade arm tires. Fearless.
Caitl will arrive shortly.
Drop pod breach successful. The ship has turned rancid. The Leviathan's transformation is a spreading miasma. One we stop here. Take the engines, Guardian. I ascend another path, but I will see this through with you.
Come to challenge me again. The beaten always do. We lifted the Cabal from Caitl stagnation. Now you are meek because this the world's lost, not added. They speak of what once was, and no longer of what could be. Is this the new Cabal you've envisioned?
We've both humored scribes conjuring purpose for us. Futures that never came to pass. Theirs is the buzzing of insects caught in turbulent winds. When the wind shifts, so will they.
Plant your amplifier and do not linger in the spores longer than you must. The interference has returned, more complex than before. Something language adjacent, but familiar. A translation of a translation.
I have offered gold and power and so much more, and still you deny me. Good. Every bond you sever, every piece of my fleshy hull you storm, paints a worthier tale, crowned by the triumph of my expansion. In truth, this is what I always desired, my good friend. A display of my enormity, immortalized by those who resisted. Individuals are defined by what we are not, after all. Unfortunately, this duality we are partners in is short-lived. Soon, I will grow beyond such small ideas as conflict. Until then, I will savor our time together. Your edge alignment was poor.
Guardian!
Caitl, dispatch this light spawn and send its head back to the city.
Silence! You are a weak imitation of the Ghaul I knew.
I am limited only by your weak imagination.
I will find you at the end.
You stand with the Traveler's puppet against me? You have grown fat from weakness, drunk on their patronage.
You demanded I rule in your shadow. With the Vanguard, I stand equal. The Cabal stand equal.
The Cabal will die alongside them, a desperate ember fading against the dark.
Just because you can't imagine a future beyond yourself, Dominus, doesn't mean there isn't one.
The interference is a voice. I've heard it whispered through the tree of silver wings on Io and beneath the ice of Europa, but it does not speak to us. This connection must be severed. Fan turbines offline. The final severance awaits.
They are using the Cabal, using you. The Empire has cattle flesh between the city and their enemies. They will let every last one of us die to save themselves.
They have proven otherwise. I do not fear our enemies. The light is at our back, and we are the Cabal. We eat the mountains. We drink the seas. Let them come. Get on with it.
You were never able to best me, Caitl. That's why I left you to hold my throne.
I was fighting with weapons you gave me. Now, I wield my own. Crush him with your light, as the Traveler did!
You are nothing more than a child playing, Empress. You lack my drive and your father's vision.
The old ways are dead, Dominus. I forged a new Cabal in my image. It does not require your approval.
I see you, Caitl. I see your new Cabal pulled from the jaws of extinction. You have surpassed me. I attempted to subdue the light and burned for it. But you wield it on your war council. What conquest is more deserving?
You still don't understand. It wasn't conquest. It was compromise. An act your traditions never would have allowed.
You have finally grown beyond the prescriptions of your idols. Despite my legend, Ghaul is flesh. His words are only words. Like yours.
There is a difference. Mine are better. Was that it, then? If dead men and sanctimony are all Callus has to threaten me, he might as well turn the Leviathan around and run. It is strange. What we are to those around us, and what we are not. The Dominus was a hero to my people.
Self-made and defiant. He inspired many. But the Leviathan's trickeries allowed me to see Ghaul as the Vanguard did. Dangerous, relentless, cruel. Those were qualities I embodied to survive Calus's interpretation of fatherhood. They kindled in me a stifling reliance on self, on action, and nothing else. Most of all, Cabal wished to be seen. Our conquests recognized and ratified by the shockwaves they send through the Empire. The impact we leave. But an endless war in pursuit of glory leaves only ashes. When I am gone, it won't be the impact of my conquests that shape the Empire. Instead, it will be the quiet of peace in the company of allies. Well fought, Guardian.
Victory sits before us, and yet it feels strangely hollow. We have severed what should be the final connection to the pyramid, and yet there is no reaction from the Leviathan, no reaction from Calus, and the lunar pyramid's psychic emanations are quiet. I cannot help but feel as though we have not weathered the storm, but merely stepped into its eye. The nightmares contained within the crown of sorrow are seething. Something is coming, Guardian, and we are not prepared. I would ask that you return to the Leviathan, continue to imprison the nightmares aboard it, while I attempt to ascertain what has changed.
Eris told me what happened. How are you?
Tired and old.
But do you feel like a legend, Caitl?
I will break you in half, small man.
I can't imagine it was easy. That confrontation after all this time. Mine wasn't.
You are not mistaken. I know what Ghaul is to your people. A symbol of death and ruthless ambition. But he was so much more than that to me. He was an idol. An inspiration to all Cabal. Even though he was born to a low station, he rose. How he rose. I was blinded by the light of his accomplishments. Unable to see the man inside. Unable to see his self-aggrandizing corruption. I refused to believe he was as much like my father as he was. It repulses me how much I still feel for them both. In spite of everything they became.
It's hard to challenge your idols. Even harder to make the decision that you'll be different. But then you look back on your life, your own mistakes, and you wonder how you'll be judged when all is said and done. I'll never know Ghaul as you did, but I know you, Caitl. I see you.
That is all anyone can ask for. To be seen as they are.
It is as I feared. We were too late. In spite of our efforts, the lunar pyramid has surged to life, and the depths of the moon roar with this monumental change. Calus has assumed control. But all may not be lost. Calus's psychic imprint is massive. Like a snail coiled within its shell, not all of him has slithered out of the Leviathan and into the pyramid. If we strike now, as one, at the heart of Calus's presence within the Leviathan, we may yet be able to prevent him from turning the power of the pyramid against us. A ritual of this size will require a massive amount of power, and all of our combined efforts. Grow. Caitl and Zavala will need to coordinate with you. Return to the Leviathan. Gather the reagents we need to perform one last ritual, and perhaps, just perhaps, we will be able to prevent disaster.
I was surprised to see Ghaul as your friend.
I'm sure he would prefer to be remembered as you knew him. Fearsome and terrifying. But I'm happy you saw him as I did. The finest mentor I ever knew.
Do you remember, Zavala? The night we buried Hakim. The gun in your hand, the moon at your back, and your ghost.
You saved him. Saved him from me.
You would not have hurt him, Zavala. It would have only been more death.
You couldn't have known that. What did you see? A desperate man, dangerous with grief. I would have pulled the trigger.
What I saw was a broken man holding a gun to his own heart. He would have sooner killed himself.
This is it. No margin for error. Eris, Crow, Caitl, get into position and plant your amplifiers. Guardian, straight down the middle. Go make some noise and draw Callus' forces to you. Amplifier set. Status report.
My amplifier is set, and I am in position in the throne room. My coward of a father is nowhere to be found.
Working on it. I've got a lot of heat back here.
My amplifier is set, but loyalists are converging on my position. Callus is not fooled by our attempt at a diversion.
Do you hear that?
Caitl, what is it? Caitl?
Her comms are being blocked. Guardian, get to the throne room and see what's going on.
Amplifier set! Heading to...
Crow? Crow, report. Eris, can you reach him?
I'm already on my way.
Guardian, stick to the plan. Find Callus and...
The others are not with you? Then we do this alone. Father! Do you see me? Show yourself!
I see, daughter. I see your failures, your doubts, your fears. You could have stood at my side, but instead, you chose this.
Hope you don't mind, but I couldn't resist a chance to be a hero one last time.
Guardian, to
Callus!
me! I will raise defenses!
This is going to hurt. A lot.
Stand fast! There is nothing to fear!
You are safe by my side, Guardian!
Unworthy victory! Daughter, I...
Where is Callus?
Dead. He has given himself over to the Witness. My father is gone.
Sophie.
Even with all our strength, we barely stopped Callus. This was not a victory, Guardian. It has merely bought us time. Callus has become an emissary of the Witness. He is the harbinger of the second collapse. For all we know, this was Callus's plan from the beginning. Luring Guardians to his side with promises of riches and lavishing them with praise. Only to slaughter all of humanity at the behest of a voice whispering to him in the dark. Callus may be gone, but the Leviathan remains, and it will take months to clear out the remaining nightmares, and Assured is no longer a threat. But even those efforts may be for naught. We have reached the point of no return. The Witness is near. It is the beginning of the end.
I remember Toro Battle. How the crowds would take to the streets in celebration of the Empire's victories. Cheering until the sun rose above the city.
When I close my eyes, I can still see the mountains and the seas. The lush jungles where wild war beasts hunted in packs. That is all gone now. Likely overrun with hive chitin and rotten fungus. The same as this accursed ship.
Then keep Toro Battle's memory as you keep mine. And when the time comes, avenge what has been lost.
Wow. The unkillable is dead. The Witness must be shaking in its boots, yeah? Oh man, you Guardians, you're always pulling off the unimaginable. I never knew the guy personally, but word on the street was Rolk had been the proverbial thorn in Savathun's side for, like, eons, really. But now, both of them are, you know, in the ground, which means nobody's controlling that pyramid. And the Scorn see the opportunity. Their control could lead us right back to another Rolk-sized problem. So, if you don't mind, maybe keep the place under our control instead? And who knows? Maybe, in the process, we'll learn something more about Rolk. Or even better, the Witness. Good luck in there, friend.
I received your last message. Whatever reckless plan brings you to the reef need not be shared with the Vanguard or the Guardian. But keep me informed at the very least. Those haunted here have found a measure of peace, but it takes more than resolve to overcome one's regrets. We have both felt it. Our moment of pain can weave into the whole of our lives. How it binds us to patterns of thought and action. I have stared into the eyes of my pain made manifest, pleaded with it, raged at it. What face would your nightmare wear? For so long, I believed peace was beyond my reach. No more. I have found it in guiding others down the same path that saved me. But I might allow myself to want more than peace. What? I am not certain. Is joy the word? Might I find that again? You told me to live my life. There is more truth in you than either of us would care to admit. I have something that will be of interest to you. The lunar pyramid remains rife with secrets. Meet with me, and we will discuss what I have found. Take care, Rat.
You never cease to entertain me, little guardians. Time and again, you have moved me to applause. And have I ever withheld your gilded reward? No, for I am magnanimous, generous, forgiving. And so, I grant you yet another gift. One last chance at salvation. The witness in all its glory has set its covetous gaze upon your traveler. You cannot stop it. Light burns for only so long. A feeble flame, easily extinguished. But you need not share that fate. I invite you to instead join me in revelry and embrace the inevitable. Alas, you have always been stubborn. So, if you insist on being devoured, then I will savor your final moments. Until our next reunion, Guardian.
Good to have you back.
Do you know the legend of Acrius, Guardian? First Emperor of the Cabal. He who defeated a mighty beast to claim the sun. When Caitl tells the story, she speaks of the warriors who gave their lives to wound the beast first, paving the way for Acrius' victory. She means to say that the source of the Cabal's strength is the Empire itself, not the one who leads it. But I hear a different message. To be remembered. One must write their own legend, strike the final blow, or be forgotten. That is the way of the Cabal. For years, I conspired with Callus's enemies to end his rule. I cared nothing for political revelries. But I knew Callus would lead the Empire to ruin. So when the Praetorian first entreated me to join their cause, I agreed and swallowed my distaste for deceit. They did not expect me to befriend the Emperor, nor did I. On the night of the coup, I could not meet his eyes. But neither could I forsake my duty. Friendship would not blind me to Callus's weakness. And I would not allow it to become my own. When I first met you in battle, Guardian, I thought you soft and weak. Not because you feared death, but because you did not. To throw one's life away, safe in the knowledge that it will return. That is the antithesis of sacrifice. A mockery of the warrior's creed. I see now that it is not your death you fear, but the death of those you defend. And that fear gives you power. A power I failed to recognize until it bested me. May Calus make the same mistake! I would have liked to face an Ahamkara in battle, to bathe my blade in a dragon's blood. Some would call that foolhardy, but the danger posed by those beasts lurks within such desires. You Guardians fell prey to as much before, did you not? You vanquished Riven only for your own wishes to be turned against you. The Cabal need not fear that outcome, for we do not make wishes. We forge our own fates. Gladiator, Primus, Traitor, Dominus, all titles I have won. Never did I count hero among them. But that was how Caitl saw me. Someone to admire and emulate. A guiding light in a starless sky. I sought a different light. One that incinerated me. If I had stayed behind, perhaps Caitl and I could have saved Tora Bottle together. Perhaps. I could have even called myself a hero. To be a gladiator is to earn the right to live with every battle. Victory bought one more day. Defeat meant death. Once, in a coliseum, that fate loomed above me. A cleaver poised to fall upon my neck. What would be my final moment? I looked to the crowd. Calus sat upon the royal balcony, dispassionate. But then I saw Caitl. The look in her eyes, issuing a silent command. Win and live. And so I did. On that day, I learned that the sweetest victory does more than buy life. It rewards hope. Some among the Cabal have made extensive study of hive warfare. Caitl's first advisor, Omuna Roth, was chief among them. At first, she sought merely to understand our enemy. That desire festered into obsession. She came to worship their war god. Know this, Guardian. The Cabal revere warriors, not war itself. We do not slaughter, we conquer. War without purpose is wasteful. War without honor is butchery. That is what sets us apart from the Hive. A lesson Umum Aroth never learned.
You know, my friend Jolion and I used to run circles around the Cabal.
It was so easy to slip past them unnoticed. We watched them build up their forces on Phobos and Mars. They never marched on the reef, so we stayed out of their way. In hindsight, I wonder whether that was the right choice. If we had intervened, would Calus have ever come to the Sol System? Would Ghaul? Guess we'll never know. The shot not taken, right? How is Petra these days? She and Crow didn't exactly part on good terms when they last met. That couldn't have been easy on her. She's lost a lot of people over the course of her life. Some by her own hand. I know Crow regrets the things he said to her. He now sees how desperately she was trying to protect him. Apologies have never been my strong suit. I can only hope Crow proves better at them than I was. Crow's fond of the fallen, isn't he? So was I. I admired their tenacity. Back them into a corner and they'll die fighting. Not even their whirlwind could bring an end to their kind. But Crow, he sees in them a kindred spirit. A people who lost all that they were and now have to build something new from the ashes. What that ends up being is entirely up to them. Just like it is for us. It's strange, watching myself from afar. Seeing who I might have been if given a second chance. Sometimes I'll catch myself wanting to reach out to Crow so I can share with him a better way of doing things. The boon of experience. And then I'll wonder, would I have listened if anyone gave me that kind of advice? Would he? Honestly, I don't know if I'd want him to. Grief and loss are powerful forces. They wear you down like rain on stone. Give them enough time, and they'll erode mountains. After the Awoken fleet was decimated at Saturn, I held on to hope that Mara had survived. But eventually, grief warped that hope into hatred. For everyone and everything. There are no excuses for what I did in those years. I know that. Just keep in mind that we all have reasons for the decisions we make. Even you. Light and dark, good and evil. Never that simple, is it? That's something the Reef's always known. Caught between two cosmic forces, walking in the shadows between them. Some might say that makes us untrustworthy. Some might forget everything we lost when we stood in Oryx's path. You don't need the light to be a hero. And you're not a hero just because you wield the light. Remember that. I always thought my sister had all the answers. That she just knew everything. But that doesn't give her enough credit. When Mara asks a question, she wills the answer she wants into being. That's her real gift. Because knowing the truth and being powerless to change it, that, my friend, is a curse.
Amanda Holliday. Do you know her, Ghaul? I never met her myself, of course. I have seen her only through Zavala's eyes. He looks at her the same way he looked at Hakim. An orphan in need of a family, someone for him to protect. But like Hakim, Amanda is of her own mind. She does what she feels is right, no matter the risk. I hope this time Zavala can learn to accept that. There was a time when Guardians walked shoulder to shoulder with the people under their protection. That was before the walls and towers, when hope was our only shield and community our refuge. I can see why Zavala thinks that keeping people safe means keeping them at arm's length. I understand that all too well. But perhaps one day, he can remember how things used to be, and how they could be again. How do you measure an eternity? How much value is there in nearly 2 decades of an immortal man's life? Even after we parted ways, I never uprooted the part of myself that Zavala planted in my chest. It still grew, thrived. The daughter I raised was raised by him too, in a way. In the lessons he taught me, in the parts of me he changed forever. Just like I changed him. In the Dark Age, there were many small settlements scattered across the land. Caravans braved the wilds to deliver supplies to those in need. I often rode with them. It never hurt to have a surgeon along, just in case. Civilization had collapsed. All humanity had ever built was buried in rubble. And yet, as we traveled, I saw how nature continued to thrive around us. When all seems lost, look not to the ruins. See the saplings that sprout anew and remember that life endures. The light can perform miracles. I have seen it set broken bones, replace lost skin, even reconstruct someone from a pile of ash. With that kind of gift, it can be easy to think of yourself as invincible, immune to harm. But trust me, Guardian, there are some wounds that even the light cannot heal. When he was just a boy, Hakim asked Zavala how to become strong. Zavala smiled and said, "What makes you think I'm strong?" "Because you can kill the fallen," Hakim answered. Zavala shared a look with me before he spoke again. "Killing doesn't make you strong," he told Hakim. "The strongest people are the ones who lift others up. Always remember that you are one of the strongest people Zavala has ever met. And it is not because you know how to kill.